Last night was a tumultuous night of intense dreaming and unsettlingness. At first, I was in a house, trapped, and I couldn't get out, and was desperately trying to get out. And everyone and everything was stopping me. And I woke up and I was in a daze, couldn't make sense of it. My body felt those emotions so deeply of that feeling of being trapped and stopped. And I sat with it and allowed it and watched my body, accepted, allowed, and surrendered to it. And then in the second half of the night, I was again in a plane that was hijacked and I was trapped. But this time round, I had an amazing relationship with those that were trapping us. And they recognized me and they were courteous and kind to me. And was really enjoying it. So my interpretation of these two things are, on the one hand, you feel trapped, you feel like something is stopping you, you feel like you can't get through, you can't break through that barrier, and you look at something or someone to blame, some person or some event to change so that you can finally be free. And when you just allow that false perception, then you realize that being trapped is not so bad. Being restricted is not so bad. These people around you that you're pretending are stopping you are not so bad. And so acknowledging that the only time you will be entirely free is on the gift of death. And before that, we are enslaved to this thing that was created to us, the desire to break free. So we must use the desire to break free and want to be free, but not by blaming or pointing at events, situations, outcomes, and people, especially people. And then it's the recognition and the surrendering that this is how I will be. And then through that acceptance and surrendering, you no longer desire it. And that's when you're given it, which is the death before the death. If you are, I was going to say lucky enough, but it's got nothing to do with luck. So when you surrender, then you allow whatever's meant to come, knowing that whatever hasn't come doesn't need to come because it's not the right time and you're not ready, if you want to use that word. Then I woke up to this incredible sunrise that was overwhelming. The most beautiful sunrise I ever encountered in my life after that evening. And I saw the sun was about to burst forward and I rushed outside and I witnessed it and I said, what is so magnificent about today? What is it about the sunrise? And I reflected on how I felt through the night and images came through. And I realized that I dreamt of something that I've never dreamt before, which is beautiful in the material world. And I realized what was making this sunrise so beautiful. It was the clouds that were there. And these clouds were, as the sun pierced through these clouds, they started lighting up the sky. And if it wasn't for the clouds, this sunrise would never have been so special, which is the reflection on our lives. These clouds, these bothersome things, this need to be free, these things that nag us, they're what makes the sunrise so beautiful. So when you see the sunrise above the clouds, you realize that the clouds were a necessary part of this sunrise. It doesn't mean you can't appreciate the sunrise or look for the beautiful sunrise, but recognize how the clouds, all those things that you're struggling with, are part of the sunrise. They are not separate from it. So then you watch how the clouds add to the sunrise and make this such a magnificent day, such a magnificent life. And the needs and the desires propel us to achieve those things we truly want, which is nothing more than the joy of a sunrise, not something out there.